Hello, everyone. I'm happy to be back with another Young Indian, Voice of the Young series. Right now, we have with us Mangesh Jadhav. Let's listen to him. Over to you, Mangesh.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mathur. Thank you for having me here. Like before this only, we were thinking, I was actually thinking of the fact that being at your age and having this idea of letting others to speak, it's quite commendable in other sense because eventually the whippet that we are having here is might be one of the unique feature uh, associated with the thing that you're providing a platform to youths for speaking out what their experiences are, what they are having problems and everything around this world and in this new modern age. So thank you so much for having me. I'll talk about myself. My name is Mangesh Shivaji Jadhav. I'm currently pursuing MA in Digital Humanities from IIT ISM Dhanbad. Apart from that, simultaneously I have been pursuing MA in Anthropology from Indira Gandhi National Open University. Beyond that, I had my background in mechanical engineering from Army Institute of Technology. So you can see that a vast difference between a person from engineering background, a technical background, coming into humanities. It is quite different that everyone would see, but for me, it is actually a life learning lessons, and like it provided me multiple sense of achievements in the way that I tried to learn so many things. And like, let's talk about MA in Digital Humanities. So, in this modern age, I thought of I'll talk about how I started with my journey here. When I completed my engineering, after that, I thought of preparing for civil services. Obviously, like every UPSC aspirant, we go and study a lot about social sciences, philosophy, and other parts. So, considering my optional was anthropology, so I thought of studying it. When I started studying from the book Sapien, then I realized there is vast thing that I have left during the course when I was pursuing my engineering. Then it actually hit me that there are too many things to learn actually. Uh, like we try to bound ourselves in a circle where we only think about whatever course we are pursuing is the finest course and we want to have it and we don't want to explore multiple things. Like this talk as well, like if you came across the other sessions as well, there are many people who are from diverse backgrounds, and eventually it gives a multiple uh, like perspectives for every person to understand their point of views. And in that sense, it was very helpful for me when I ventured into anthropology. Then I was looking out for any other master's program. So I came across multiple. So there are many like to be considering this fact that I'm pursuing MA in Digital Humanities and Social Sciences from IIT Dhanbad. Now you might think that from IIT and how come HSS? Obviously BTech, MTech would be there, MBA might be there, but why about this HSS thing? So let me tell you frankly this thing that there are many IITs in ISM in the India that they have this multiple courses running under the Department of Humanities Social Sciences. Either they have School of Humanities Social Sciences and Management. There are plenty. The list goes on like IIT Mandi has it, IIT Jodhpur has it, IIT Delhi has it, IIT Guwahati has it, IIT Dhanbad has it. So
We are back from the internet freeze and the pause. So, Mangesh, please continue. You were talking about many places in India that have humanities, such as IIT, Mandi, Jodhpur, etc. Please continue.
so as I was mentioning about this Humanities Social Sciences department, and like there are lists of many IITs which are having this department, but the courses of particularly MA or either in Masters in Public Policy that are particularly in few of the IITs. Let's talk about IIT Mandi, as I mentioned. IIT Jodhpur is there, IIT Guwahati is there. Apart from that, like my IIT, like IIT Dhanbad itself. Beyond that, IIT Tirupati and IIT Delhi. So there are many. And apart from that, NITs also have some programs running on. So now talking about the thing that pursuing MA, that to be in technical institute, is it really helpful? Just think of the fact that you are pursuing something of, let's assume we all know about the central universities, DU and JNU, and a few of Jadavpur and Savitribai Phule Pune University. There are few universities which are actually doing very good in their domain, which are mostly humanities, arts, and social sciences, and beyond that as well. But uh, while pursuing these courses in technical institute provides an diverse exposure that I believe and that I'm getting actually. Actually, the program that are run by IITs are actually commendable because when we look at the pool that we have here and what kind of expertise that they have and what kind of skill set that they do possess and they work for it. So it again gives us motivation, and it is actually interdisciplinary in that sense, and it is helpful as compared to the other central universities, I believe, because of the fact that we tend to get a multiple point of view from people of technical departments, that to be, let's assume, mechanical, environmental, and all those respective satellite departments from the management courses and everything. So it is actually one of the fact that you will learn a lot. So these are the few IITs that are providing this course. Now, talking about the thing that like the course which I'm pursuing, so MA in Digital Humanities. So particularly talking that the fact that uh, I had my background in technical course and now I'm pursuing something in humanities. So it is providing me an exposure, and apart from that, it gave me an uh, a value added uh, experience in terms of research and the exposure that I got here. Recently, I completed one of my internship from National Center for Good Governance and the Department of Administrative Reform. So the skill set which I learned from these courses at my institution was actually helpful for me throughout my internships. So in that sense, it is very helpful. And apart from that, those people who are willing to have career in research, or those who want to have something professional degrees after this, they might look up to this professional courses as well. And apart from that, frankly speaking, those people who are targeting for government exams, they can also have these things in their mind after pursuing your BTech or either any bachelor courses that you have in your mind. So now, talking about the life at IIT, the exposure and the technical skills of the academic skills are there.
Hang on, Mangesh. What
Yeah,
is it that you defined by digital humanities? Because many people don't know. So why don't you tell us
yeah.
about it?
So now, talking about digital humanities. So in this modern age, we have like the traditional courses that we have is it in humanities and social sciences. But now just think about this fact that the museums we have museums which are very static in their nature. We tend to visit those museums by either by purchasing tickets and going visiting those in physical form. But when we talk about these things in digital humanities, we actually tend to talk about the archiving part of it. Now, apart from that, beyond this, we can think of tech policies that are going to that are there in the digital. Apart from that,
It's not working well.
machines are understanding the text we are having.
Mangesh, it's not working well. Your voice is stopping all the time. Okay. Maybe let's pause it and so we are back out of the
So
pause.
I was
Yeah, continue, please, Mangesh.
so I was explaining regarding how digital humanities, like what is digital humanities. So when we talk about the generative AI that we are using right now, ChatGPT, Gemini, and Copilot and everything. So the basic thing is how these machines are reading the text that we're feeding them. This is like you might correlate with it with the computational part of the social sciences as well. This talks about the fact that whatever we are talking, how the machine reads it, how they interpret it in using natural language processing as a part of it. And these are few things that we learn here. And that to be how in digital age we have to uh, we have to develop some few advanced technologies that are disruptive in their nature, right? Like talking about, like I'll give you example of ChatGPT only. That the first model of ChatGPT, and now we are using GPT 4.0, and now GPT 4.0 Omni, I believe. So these are the progressions that are going to happen, that are happening, and the mind behind these are actually the humanities people and the people from the cognitive psychology as well. They're trying to understand the things, and this actually involves, and under the umbrella term of digital humanities, how the machines are interpreting what they're feeding them.
Hmm.
So this is the overview of it.
Okay, all right. Tell us a little bit about anthropology. What's going on in your mind
Okay.
with it? I haven't had anybody here talking about anthropology, so I'm curious to hear what's in your mind.
Yeah, actually, it was one of the fascinating subjects, apart from digital humanities, which excited me a lot with the fact that let's talk about a thing. It's very much a small thing, but very impactful. That how does everything around us is happening, and how it has been developing, and how it has been developed since the time of inception. Let's talk about a religion, any kind of social institution. Let's talk about marriage. So when we think about this thing that is going around us, and that to be in a culturally dominated area such as India, where we have a spectrum of cultures simultaneously coexisting. So it is very much fundamental question that how this human development happens. And this very question, actually, I have been very curious throughout my uh, educational career. So this question was always in my mind, and this question actually led me to find few of the answers when I came across anthropology regarding the study of human and the development phases of human societies. So in that way, it was so enthusiastic and so I would say exciting thing for me to go into while studying the thing how humans and the society, the culture, and how the social institutions got formed. And now I'm just like learning few of the things as well.
All right. So tell us something that has stuck in your mind from this. Something that you learned is,
Uh,
oh my God, I did not know this now. Oh, this is amazing. So tell us something like that.
there were plenty of the things. Initially, when we talk about archaeological anthropology, but my like particularly my area of interest was in social anthropology. And social anthropology had different social institutions. We talk about religion, marriage, a different type of economic activities and economic systems existing there. But especially in marriages, when I came across different type of marriages happening in different cultures, which is morally right for their culture, which we can't consider in court language ethical in some sense, but there were many things. There would be this would be a controversial thing, but I don't know. But there were you dormitories where before marriages as well, people were taught about after marriage lives, what they have to in terms of physical sense, in terms of mental sense, they were trained before that. That to be in those primitive societies where the economic system were barter system. So now this type of mental development that they had at that age of time, and that is there are cultural parallels happening. So obviously in some continent there might be people from primitive nature of development, or they might be in their initial phases, but few uh, uh, areas or spaces they had better development in their culture. So in that respect, it was very much fascinating fact that learning about different type of marriages, polygamy, endogamy, and apart from that, exogamy as well, and like how in India we perform different marriage systems in Himalayan region. Why this polygamy is there, and Why? Uh, because of the land issues and everything. So there were many things that which was very new to me to learn, and which is actually fascinating because whenever in general conversation as well, when we come across any of the topic related to it, we readily have an example of the cultural aspects that we are encountering in our day-to-day life.
Okay, wonderful. I mean, when you talk to people about these things, do they even understand what you're saying, or is it hard to put it across?
It is actually very it depends upon the circle actually. In academia, mostly people know about these things, but when in general sense, when what we call it as chai pe charcha, so in that sense, it becomes somewhat problematic to say these things, but they are very much curious to know this thing, though they might not accept it at that point of time. But obviously, they give this example because one of their friend who had information regarding that has given them. So the person whom they're referring, they consider them as an authority figure and they just pass it on the information. So in some
Okay.
sense, it is help.
Yeah, all right. All right. Because I have always been interested in this endogamous marriage groups, exogamous, and I find that trying to explain it to people is very tough. They just don't have,
Yeah, true.
so what are you talking about? I said, well, it's what you are practicing. That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's continue.
I believe that is because of the fact that we are completely bounded in our experiences. Like it was a very beautiful example that my one of my faculty was giving us that till the age of 30, the experiences that we get and we have been shaped in particular way. So till that age, we just try to learn few things, we fail in few things, but we get experience out of it. And that experiences are actually very influential for us because they shape us. So after a period of time, when we try to convince some people who are above 30, they just give a distinction of 30, but it would not be like that. It would vary for multiple people in multiple mental ages. But this analogy was there that the experiences that we had. So it becomes very difficult for children to convince their parents. Why? Because their parents don't want to let go their experiences, which they have earned hard in hard way. So obviously, if I tend to talk to my parent as well, like my father as well, with regard to any kind of thing which he has earned or learned through his experiences by failing. Obviously, he would be very rigid in that sense, rigid in that sense to let I was so happy with learning this thing.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute. I mean, how did your parents take to your idea of going to humanities from engineering?
Uh, yeah. Actually, initially they were like, you have done one of the good courses. Apart from that, one of the good institution was there. So initially they were in the this mindset that don't you want to go for job or something? Then I asked them regarding I wanted to learn more. So in that this journey of learning more made me to apply for this IIT as well because when I thought of applying to the nearby institution, so my parents were also like thought of don't why don't you apply for IIT or any other institution as well. Apart from that, they also asked me why don't you apply for MBA. I thought of applying for it, but then I thought in MBA I would not learn that thing because obviously the rigidity becomes very dominant there. But in humanities, it is quite different. So it eventually gives us the scope of learning more things, engaging with more people, and this also helped me in some sense because I was pursuing MA in Digital Humanities at IIT Dhanbad. It gave me a mental relaxation that I have a time to prepare and study for MA in Anthropology as well. So
Yeah,
simultaneously, I've been pursuing both.
yeah,
So this
wonderful.
thing is there.
Okay, great. Let's continue.
Yeah. So were you asking something?
No, I said let's continue.
Okay. So yeah, the take was not that positive, but yeah, in some sense, they were pretty much confident on my things which I had decided, and they had a complete faith in me. So eventually, when I entered into it, they are also happy right now.
Okay.
But they are, yeah.
All right. Let's continue.
Uh, okay, huh, I was talking about life at IIT. So should I continue that part?
Yes, please.
Yeah. So when I was mentioning regarding that thing, so it is actually leaving aside all the academic part, but life at IIT is quite different. You will have friends from different departments, that to be none of them overlapping, might be overlapping, but mostly from diverse background. And when you come across for a debate or any kind of discussion with them, it actually opens up your mind that you didn't thought particular thing in that way. Even if we talk about any political issue or any kind of social issue or any kind of any issue, that to be any kind of technical issue as well. So in that sense, it is very helpful to have this exposure of people from diverse background, and that to be people with skill sets and those who have actually understood the nerve of the points. So it helps. So eventually, it is a I would say like life is a long learning process, and eventually we just tend to learn. I believe Dr. Mathur is also learning through this bit as well. That is actually an exciting part of it. That at this age, he is that much enthusiastic to start a new YouTube channel with Pet and having youth to talk on it. So yeah,
Well, it's part of my life to do something new and
yeah,
do something which suits the current situation. You don't want to do something new just because you got an idea. It has to work in the modern
hmm,
environment, where not modern, where you are at that time. It's new, but it's not just theoretically new. It's also functionally, it new and works and really has an impact. So that has been my thinking all along, no matter what kind of work I do. And it has to have an impact and it has to be new. And it, it can be based on theory, but in the end, it must work. So let's
yeah,
not talk about it, but let's continue with you.
yeah. Actually, apart from that, I would like to talk about the future opportunities as well. Like when we talk about any particular humanities courses, so people always think, what will they do? Either they would go for PhD, either they would apply for teaching. Is there any kind of opportunities available? So yeah, there are actually. It is just matter of fact that the kind of skill set that you learn and type of internship that you do and type of experiences that you have, that actually shapes your resume, your CV, and eventually help you land in a proper position where you want to see yourself in. Now, like when I went through Dr. Mathu's uh, LinkedIn profile, and I just got to know about many things that he had multiple affiliations with many internationally well-known esteemed organizations as well. So obviously, the kind of uh, affiliations that you have, it actually matters a lot, and the skills that you learn. So focusing on your skills, like there are people from masters in public policy as well, and from MA as well. So their skill sets would be quite different. But yeah, and if you're looking forward to have something in particular domain, let's assume someone is looking forward to have something in strategy and transaction kind of profile, that to be in Big Fours. So in that sense, it is very much essential that the person should know the fact of public policy, how they work. Apart from that, they should know about what is public policy advisories and how government advisory works. So these are few things. What are like particular reports that are needed for, let's talk about Invest India and BRAP, and these are few reports that people actually look forward to in their actual in before they refer this government reports, and they produce out of date a new report as well. So these things you should be knowing, and the experiences that you'll be getting from the internships will actually add upon your CV and would land you in particular position that you wanted to. So, yeah.
Wonderful. You're happy with your decision. And how much more time do you have here before you graduate?
I'm in second year of my masters in
Yeah,
both.
yeah,
So in both masters, I'm in second year, and
yeah.
I'm just working on my thesis as well.
Okay,
I would like to talk about it. Yeah, the thesis wala part actually.
okay.
In this modern age, like we were talking about, like for thesis, we went through several topics and everything. We were talking about like digital web scraping, then archiving, then many things. Then few things stuck in my mind regarding the digital identities that we have created right now in this age. Apart from that, the hate speech, the fake news, and the misinformation, disinformation, and apart from that, the philosophical angle to it. That is also important while regard to pursuing any kind of like putting forward your effort into the thesis or dissertations. So that was actually one of the fun fact that helped me to learn many things.
All right, wonderful. What's your future like to you? What does it say? Optimistic, bright?
Yeah,
What is your feeling?
uh, yeah, like talking about like that thing, I can't see it idle. Actually, the thing is that so I might be looking to uh, doing many things. Like I might be looking to start a startup in upcoming years. That might be one of my things that I have in my mind. But beyond that, as I mentioned, I was preparing for civil services, so I will prepare for it again while doing this thing. Because eventually, whatever learnings I'll have, I just want to put it in a proper way. If I won't be able to crack it, I would love to help in whatever possible ways that I have learned these skills to provide it back to the society. So that would be one of my motives. So in that sense, I'll keep working.
All right, wonderful. Any tips you have for young people?
I would say be a good listener and have curiosity and uh, always be a student and be excited.
Okay. What does it mean, always be a student?
Students like whatever the students idea when I get it, it is regarding like when I see it from the lens of that when how it was in our school days, I mean to say. And in that days, though people are mischievous, but they learn many things. And those are the foundation years of anything. So don't ever try to restrict your mind or make it rigid in the fact that you have learned so many things. Just be that curious, that mischievous child, but simultaneously build your foundation that strong that eventually you'll keep on learning. Those like about quoting example, there are like people, Elon Musk and Ratan Tata and many who are always been a student. Talking about APJ Abdul Kalam as well. So these are people who are always been student, and that is what I like came in my mind as of now.
Okay, wonderful. All right. Anything else you want to add here?
I believe no. It was a wonderful session having with you,
Okay. All right.
and I would like to meet you again in
Okay.
physical sense, I believe.
Let me
Let me
just
bring back
ask you
here.
one thing. Well, you shifted to IIT, but you already had a technical background. So
Yeah.
the the engineers were quite similar to you, but you met
Mhm.
probably people who,
No.
sorry, continue.
Yeah, sorry, I interrupted. Yeah, please continue.
No, but the new
I
really,
thought the question ended there. Yeah.
no, the really new people you met were not engineers. And they were
Hmm.
purely from non-engineering, non-technical background. So how was it to meet them?
Actually, it was very like I would say nice. It was very like fascinating to see people from diverse background, and it was actually helpful. because there were few many things that I never learned and which I got to learn from them. People from philosophy as well, people from psychology as well, sociology as well, from history, from English literature. So there are many things. And now just thinking about this thing, like talking about this thing, that how we try to communicate would actually matter how they see you, how they perceive you. So the whole agenda of the life actually changes when you come across diverse people, and it actually shaped my life as well. Because initially I was just looking many things too objectively, but while coming across people from non-engineering background actually made me think life in more larger, like in a larger than life sense. And obviously I'm learning a lot from them as well.
Yes, that's true. The learning is from your fellow students also. It's not just from the classroom. So I think that's a very important point, that you learn from your fellow students as much as you learn from your faculty, because you don't have the time with the
Mhm.
faculty, you have time with your fellow students,
True.
right? So then you can get to, okay, now. All right, anything else you want to tell us?
No, I'll wrap up here. Actually, I
Okay,
don't
good.
have much topics to
All
discuss.
right, wonderful. All
Yeah.
right, good. So let's end it here then today. Uh, I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Till then, bye everybody.